Thank you very much.
We're gonna start off, we're gonna open the CRC Finance Committee agenda. And the first thing we have on is the Administrative Director's report, Treasurer's report, and the budget.
Okay,
Yeah, well said.
so Administrative Director's report is pretty slim. This is my first CRC meeting. And we haven't focused very much, and there aren't very many, we haven't focused very much on this yet, and there aren't any transactions of note. We do have some housekeeping to take care of, accept the minutes, the treasurer's report, and the draft budget. But other than that, there have been no transactions, so. Nothing to note. Mike, do you want to, anything on CRC?
No,
That's
okay.
it.
So what we're gonna need is a motion and a second to accept the Treasurer's report.
I made the motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Next, we have the 2027 draft budget.
That's attached, and that's essentially a format. If we, we're preparing our annual budget right now to submit, so that we have our numbers nailed down to the county next week to submit, and then we'll finalize the overall budget, but this probably won't change.
Okay, so what we need is a motion.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Then we have the annual $5,000 grant for CRC. And next, I need a motion second, to accept the draft minutes from March 10, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Nobody on, public comments? In that fair, we're gonna close the finance committee, CRC Finance Committee. Right. Next, we have the CRC meeting agenda, and if you look at it, it's basically same as we just did. And we accepted the treasurer's report, the draft budget, grant, draft minutes. Nobody's here, public comment, so. I'm gonna close the CRC
I would say just do a motion in a second.
to close.
To approve those as a consent agenda item, those three things.
We just did.
Approve all three at once.
Yeah, in this meeting,
Yep.
Oh, in this meeting, do them again, okay.
just, you could do one motion to approve all three.
So what we're gonna need is a motion and a second for the treasurer's report.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor, the three items.
Aye.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Again, the public comment, nobody's on, so we're gonna close the CRC meeting.
Okay. And Lisa, just to make sure you got that, there was just a consent on all three items. That wasn't-
Yeah.
I'm used to this. Wait till January.
Okay,
So, moving right along, we have the IDA Finance Committee agenda. And first thing up would be the Administrative Director's report.
okay. And I'm gonna read this to the finance committee, but this will also be the same report for obviously the full board.
Okay,
Few transactions past 30 to 60 days. This is my first meeting here on the IDA. Income is about 10,000 below budget of 15. Fees due CEDC 46,500 need to be authorized. Mike can walk us through details. And after conferring with the treasurer of CEDC, we've decided that we're going to update and improve our reporting a bit. So first of all, we'll add a narrative so that we don't have to have a line by line discussion every meeting. So that we'll just pull out the highlights. And then we'll also be making improvements to our QuickBook chart of accounts and financial reports. I'm in conversation with Brian at CEDC about how we're going to do that. But essentially, that'll be a fall project, and we'll be developing a tight but clear scope, and then working with a local firm. Couple more updates. We've published a simple, clear guide to pilots, which is available on the website. It's for business applicants. We noticed that there definitely was not a lot of awareness or understanding of the process. It's a lot simpler than most people think. So we documented it and published it. Thanks to those who attended the ABO training at CGC Community at Columbia Green last month. As everybody knows, ABO requires the board to be trained every 3 years. So if you haven't trained yet, please contact Lisa for assistance and torture on that front. We are also exploring metrics. We have been and continue to explore metrics in a dashboard approach for tracking pilot status and impacts. It's a project that our intern is working on with Mike and myself. I'll hand out an example just to show you guys what I'm talking about. But what we'd like to do is get to the point where we have a dashboard. And this is just an example. Get to the point where we've got a dashboard that we can use for internal management, but also for much easier, quicker reporting, so that we can just go through each pilot and update you on 3 areas: status, or not pilots, project basically. Status, incentives, profile, and impacts. And then we'll get to the point where we can race through those. It'll probably take us a couple months to, we've got the data, we just don't have it in the format that we need. And then we've got to do some programming and spreadsheet playing and figure out what's the best app to use to pull the data into the dashboard. So that'll make life a lot easier as far as the reporting goes, and I think a lot simpler, and the numbers will be a lot more consistent whenever we talk to you guys. And then we're also conducting research on allowable IDA activities. This is really more for Hudson, but also relevant to the county. So Mike and I are also talking to the council on both sides to develop a good sense of allowable IDA activities, investments, and spending, so that we can host a discussion later in the year about a more proactive agenda if we want one, how we can further support the county's overall economic development plans, and not just be reactive. Pilot updates or project updates: Queechee Lake Motel, application expected, not received yet. Bruce Boost Motel, and Mike, please interrupt me if there's any that you want to add more. Queechee Lake, like I said, app's not in yet, but we're expecting it still. Blue Spruce Motel has closed. That's conversion to 52 motel, few units, housing units. 9H Claverick, no updates. 27 Summit Street, Beaumont, no updates. Clock Estate, no change in status or anything, that they're currently sorting through and spending some time with Mike so they can better understand their pilot payments and tax payments. And Wick Hotel, no updates. That's the administrative report.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have the draft minutes from March 10, 2026. We're gonna need a motion and second to accept.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have the treasurer's report.
Yes, treasurer's report is, hold on 1 second. The profit and loss is 10,000, as I stated earlier, is about 10,000 below budget. Budget's 15, and the total is income's 5. That's January to June total numbers. There's not really any financials to go through beyond the black and white of what you see in the report. There's nothing to pull out, but if you have any questions. And then we need some authorizations for payments. Is that?
Good morning. As you'll recall, the CEDC agreed to waive its administrative fee so that you were able to maintain a comfortable balance than the IDA account. With the closing on the Blue Spruce apartment project, the IDA received a $70,000 fee. The contract that we have with the IDA provides for a $18,000 a year administrative fee plus a 10% fee based on the amount of money that the IDA receives from a closing. We would receive 10% of that, up to $25,000. Therefore, CDC would be entitled to a $7,000 fee. Last year, when the Wick Hotel refinanced, there was a $25,000 fee that they paid, and we deferred that as well. When we go back and look at the administrative fee, you can see on the balance sheet, that current liability, is $46,500. It's, both due to CEDC, that's before the 2,500 and the 7,000. Right now, you have about $116,000 in the bank. You basically owe CEDC $56,000. So you would retain 60,000, which is approximately, what you have in the bank now. We are pretty optimistic, about the Clichy Hotel project as well as, the Hopkins House. Yeah. In Philmont. In addition, we're optimistic, that the Clapper project as well as the Summit project, will ultimately close. And, you know, if all those projects, close, you'll have $300,000 in the bank. We would propose that we continue to, have you pay us, on a monthly basis. You get to a point where it appears that, fees aren't coming in at a pace that, makes you comfortable. We could certainly ask the CEDC board if they were willing to, defer again. But at this point, with some funds in the bank, it would be helpful to CEDC to, get caught up. Any questions?
So we're gonna do the monthly payments.
We'll start those up after, you'll pay us.
When we get some money.
Well, we went defer them, until you got a little, if you got down below 50,000, perhaps we'd come back and ask the CEDC board if they would defer them again. But we would begin having you pay them, in August going forward,
Monthly
on a
invoice at
monthly
the end of
basis,
the.
at the end of the month.
It's not quarterly, sorry.
But we can do it quarterly.
We used to
Yeah.
do it quarterly,
Let's do
sorry.
it quarterly. 'Cause then it'll be the same as Hudson. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Any questions on the treasurer's report? I just say we're waiting in earnest for these projects to close and as you all know, there is that one, there is another big one down in Hillsdale, Roller Jansen School, and they're going through the, you know, motions right now down there to get it cleared, and that's a big project, supposedly $150 million. So,
They've been into the office, presented to us, and then the night of his, he appeared at Quebec ZBA, I think his last meeting was the 23rd. And I met with him down at the school again and Supervisor Wolf. And yeah, it's pretty exciting. Something interesting, I think he said, and Andy, you may know the details of this. I think he told me they're planning not to close for 2 years. That he thought that it would be at least 2 years until they closed. 100 in, he said, once they're operating, 100 baseline jobs up to during seasonal peaks, 2 to 3 times a year, 250 employees. So it's looking pretty good, but the ZBA, the big question mark right now is just how long the ZBA needs to make their decisions.
all right. So, further ado, we need a motion and a second to accept the treasurer's report. So moved. All those in favor?
Second.
Sure, is it necessary to approve the payment to CEDC and?
Yeah, we have that after the budget, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Next we have this, well, here it is, CEDC payments, okay? So we need a motion and a second.
And that would be the lump sum payment and then the quarterly. It's Mike.
One vote or both, we can include both.
Yes.
Okay.
I need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Any public comments?
So we got the budget too. Love it.
What did I do, skip over? it?
Yeah, the 2027.
Oh, so yeah,
Yeah.
and it's, and again,
Oh,
that's just a template as well, which we can revise as we need to.
All right.
You want a motion on that?
We had motion and second.
Motion to accept.
Motion. Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. There's no public here, no public comment, so I want to close the IDA Finance Committee meeting. Next up is the IDA full board meeting. And we have the administrative director's report, which I think we
Already, yeah, we beat that horse, yeah.
just did.
Revision of his report.
Yeah, we just did the project updates. Is there any questions? We're gonna, and any of this, I mean,
Well, we need to do the draft minutes.
We'll need to adopt the minutes and then.
yeah, and then the rest, no, we can't do this one, there's a.
We should probably just do each one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clean.
All right, so we need a motion and a second to accept the draft minutes from May 5th, 2026.
Move. Oh, good.
Don't move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And then we have the treasurer's report, which we went over. Motion and a second to approve.
Motion.
Second. All those in favor? Two thousand twenty-seven IDA budget. Need a motion and a second to approve.
So move. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we just went over the project updates.
Yeah, I just have one thing I wanna bring up. We had a request from Magic Properties. They're doing a refinance. He's got land in the Commerce Park and we're holding a penalty mortgage on that, $30,000 penalty mortgage. So the request was, there's already existing financing, he's refinancing it, so we're already in a second position, but because of the refinance, the owners asked us to subordinate to the new financing. Okay, it's really kind of a technical thing, you know, we're already behind the bank, he's just refinancing here, so the bank's requiring, because it's quote unquote, you know, new action, that we subordinate to their financing.
Which is the same position you're saying.
Same position we're in, it's really a technical thing. I guess the one issue, Mike, is it is a penalty mortgage, you know, he's in the process of designing what he's gonna do there, and the question is how we wanna handle that.
In the past, when we have given an extension or made an accommodation, we've added a modest amount to the penalty mortgage. This has been going on for quite a while, and you know, I recommend that we add $5,000 to the penalty mortgage. The basis is that it won't cost him anything if he does what he says he's going to do. But if, and he, a couple months ago, I had this conversation with him, so this won't be a surprise to him. The only issue that Andy and I discussed was the fact that it will require to do some new documents and therefore incur some expense. But we basically have done this before, so we have the document that amends the original penalty mortgage by adding an additional amount to it. And I think it just does two things. One, it recognizes that when the IDA takes action, you know, there should be an economic benefit to the IDA. And also, it puts sends a message to the developer that you know, we are serious about having these parcels built out. Obviously, this is you know, one of the last parcels that would be a new building would be constructed on. And one of the issues that we've had at the park is that originally the projects were sold basically at 50% of their market value at the time. And a 50% penalty mortgage was put in place with a 2 to 3 year deadline to build your building or pay the penalty. We had done some extensions during COVID to accommodate people. They ultimately did build their buildings and they were very appreciative of it. In some cases, it's not relevant because there's no other parcels left to sell. Other than the additional land that you've approved to sell to Columbia 10. But what it was causing in the early days was people paying the penalty mortgage and speculating or holding the property without getting a building built. So I think that you know, you get into building, and if you get into having enough money to buy land and do a second commerce park, You might say after 3 years, you don't pay the penalty mortgage, you get the land back, but, that's a little harsh as well, so. But basis of adding this, I would recommend, based on what Andy described.
Okay, do we need to take action now?
We should have a motion, yeah, it would be to issue the subordination contingent on the penalty mortgage being increased.
Just curious, what's the amount of the refinance? Do you have an idea?
It's in the 200s, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's less than what he had written.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think maybe the term ended, so he's just.
Yeah.
Doing it.
Got it. So you need a motion,
Yeah, no, Magic Properties is,
The owner.
no, I know. That's not,
The principal's Steve Shulkin.
this project there was,
Yeah, they're working on a building. I can't remember the underlying business, Mike, but
He's a distributor, and I think he also, has processes, used equipment.
and I would say, I mean, historically, like Mike said, we have worked through things we worked through a couple times with Harvest, and now there's a very nice building there, you know, I mean. So
Sometimes it takes a
the
little.
carrot and stick to get there, you know, eventually, I mean, I think that's an asset now to the Commerce Park, that building. Seen it. Did a nice job, so we kind of treated that the same way to kind of control it, to get to the end.
so, okay,
Martha with their own clients.
Exactly.
so then we would need a motion in a second.
motion.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so. Any public comment? No public comment, so. I guess that's it, any. Wait for the board, any more questions or anything? Very good.
Lisa, did you get was the language clear on that last vote?
I'm going to send it to Andy and he's going to fix
Yeah.
it for me.
Happy word.
If not, I guess motion in a second to close the idea, maybe so moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, well.
Thank
Come.
Thank you.